Hello, my fellow skateboarders, longboarders, and freelance skaters. This is Srinivasan, a fine art photographer, a distance skater, and a small time freelance skater who does bicycling as a cross training. It's only for people who are looking at this interview series for the very first time, and I'm totally new to the scene, so that's why. And who we have here is a veteran. Okay, he's the most kindest person, and particularly in double quotes underlined by red, forgiving, okay, and a wonderful gentleman. And I've actually being new to the scene of distance skating, I took some time to learn about him, to prepare the questions, or even to agree for this interview, because like I should not be the guy who is messing up things when I don't understand of the person's the tremendous record. So he took up all the patience and gave me all the time to prepare myself, to talk to him, to prepare the questions and all that. So I'm very kind and thankful for whatever he has done to me. And to be particular, he's an stand-up paddling rider, and he has been skateboarding for a very long time. He has been skated with, you name it, all the important skaters in the distance skating scene. He's a very talented person, a responsible father, father of two childs, a responsible husband. So we welcome Mr. Jeremiah Pascua, stand-up paddling distance skater. He's from Miami. So welcome, sir.
Hey, I'm actually from California, but
Okay. Okay.
um, thank you for having me. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody watching around the world.
Yep, yep. So, yep. Sorry for that detail fact checking mistake, but anyways, thank you.
Hmm.
Cool. Thanks for accepting this invite and being there. He was like an hour before for this interview. I'm very glad that he was able to allot that time for us. So it's we are getting together for a cause to help out the people in the distance skating scene. So thank you, sir. Thanks for making for this interview on time. And yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, you're you're welcome. I mean, you have a cool little platform here. You have the courage to reach out to new people and make your mark on the scene. So I appreciate it, and let's get it going.
Sure, sir. Uh, I'm beginning with the questions. So, how did you find me? Actually, let me tell you, I'm truly grateful for that. But still, would like to know, like, how did you find me? Because it was
Um,
him who actually wanted to be in this interview series. I'm so glad that he did that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I found you clicking on YouTube.
Uh huh.
I was training for Miami
Uh huh.
2023, and you did an interview with Adam
Mm
Ornelas,
hmm. Mm
and
hmm.
I saw it, and I was like,
Oh,
"Wow,
thank you.
who's making this content?" And you know, uh, I love interviews. I love information and knowledge, and that's kind of what you're getting out of high quality skaters. Details, diet plans, things like that. Those are all things and little bits of knowledge that you can apply to your training to be the best version of yourself, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I jumped on the bandwagon.
I'm very glad that you did that actually, because it's an honor for me. Because I'm very new to this scene, and so to speak, like I began to skate or like to step on a skateboard at the age 37, and I continued from there. But how did you feel like I might be the right guy to talk about SSUP or street stand up paddling?
Street stand up paddle, stand up paddle skate
Yeah.
is I it's comparable, or it could be as popular as regular stand-up paddle.
Mm-hmm.
And stand-up paddle is done around the world, not just in the ocean. They do it in the lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Even skateboarding, it's around the world. The best street skateboarders are from Japan, according to Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it's a world sport. So why not talk to somebody completely on the other side of the world and share my experience and maybe learn something from you.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I've done probably one or two SSUP rides. I did build a paddle stick out of bamboo, but it's rattan kind, but it's not that strong. If I'm going to
Oh
do some
yeah.
layback, I would probably lay it back on the road. It'll break. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely you want to use the rattan, not bamboo.
yeah.
So rattan is the best.
Cool, cool. I happened to click a few bamboos today on the route where I skate, and I happen to find them to be cane. It's not rotten, like it's not solid piece. It has some
Uh yeah.
cavity or hollow in it. So there are bamboos here all around, and there are rattan like bamboos manufactured in my place also. That's what it is
Oh,
used for
okay.
the police sticks, and several other
Yeah.
purposes, furnitures and other things. Thanks. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Sir, I've seen your Instagram profile, Facebook profile, and everything. I've got an idea about you, but it's better to hear it from you itself. Tell us about yourself.
Uh I guess in reference to skateboarding,
Mm-hmm.
I've been skating since I was 10 years old.
Oh,
So I'm 33 now. So
ah,
what's that, like 23 years of skateboarding.
wow.
I started on the small skateboard, doing tricks and all that good stuff.
Uh,
And then, obviously just graduated to, skateboarding in the pool.
mm,
And then obviously not wanting to get injured.
mm,
That's kind of, out of the question.
mm,
So naturally I picked up the longboard.
mm,
My brother actually, kind of brought longboarding, a longboard around, and it was easy for me.
mm.
So since then, about 10 years ago, yeah, around 10 years ago, the distance skateboarding journey began.
Mm,
With sector nines, things like that,
mm,
old, regular longboards. And
mm, mm.
then once we found out we could do 8 miles, then we wanted to do 10 mile, 10, then 12. And so we're just naturally trying to progress our distance. And then we found Ultraskate in 2014, which was
Cool.
the second annual, happening of it in Miami.
Yeah.
And ever since then, yeah, ever since
Actually, it
then,
is
that's what,
second in Miami, or like, sorry to interrupt. Was it second
no,
in Miami, or like it was the second Ultraskate itself?
I believe it's the second in Miami.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yes,
Thank
yeah, the
you.
second in Miami. Because on the shirt that I have, that my wife wears, it says a second annual, and
Oh,
that was 2014. 2014. So
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So before you kind of, tried out various streams of skating, as in like from skateboarding to longboarding and everything, you said like you want to play safe, and you took up longboarding and everything, and your forgive me, your late brother, I believe, introduced you into SSUP, and you settled for SSUP. How did you like feel like trying after trying SSUP? You felt like this is my thing.
Well, my late brother that passed away, He did not introduce me to
Okay.
longboarding.
Okay.
I mean, he skateboarded with me when I was young.
Okay.
He actually was the, why I wanted to skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
He picked it up, and then obviously I wanted to be better than him, or or
Oh,
learn or just hang out with him. So
okay.
yeah, his name is Remy. He showed me that back in a long time ago when I started skating when I was 10.
Mm.
After my half brother DJ,
Mm-hmm.
he he showed me longboarding, I believe in 2007, 2008.
Wow.
And yeah, yeah, and then or around that time, then we would go skateboard around. But eventually, just because he wasn't, or he may have found a stand up paddle stick online back then,
Mm.
and I think he bought one,
Mm.
and then we tried it, and obviously I understand how it works, but I'm a traditional skateboarder, so using my legs was always more natural
Mm. Mm.
and what I liked. And because he was, I believe, learning how to skateboard, using the stick
Mm.
kind of helps as like a balance.
Mm.
It acts like kind of like a training wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we started doing it. So he would always have the paddle,
Mm.
and then I would be skateboarding,
Mm.
and then eventually I started trying to get good at it,
Mm.
and eventually we're both paddling and trying to figure out what's best. So yeah,
Cool.
that's kind of how I started. And it was really fun, actually.
Mm.
Going out. A lot of people haven't seen it before,
Mm.
so they're asking questions, they're stopping us. What's that called?
Mm.
This and that, and so it was really good for me socially
Mm.
to like interact
Mm.
with people, and that's kind of why I really liked it, because it's really fun and you get a good workout.
Awesome. Awesome. So, in skateboarding, as in like distance skateboarding, people do switch push, right? So, when you
Hmm.
do SSUP, is there anything like switch push, like you swap sides using the stick? Oh, okay.
Definitely, yeah, yeah, definitely. Obviously, the terminology for it is terminology that kind of I thought of, or not, I didn't think of, but I just naturally use. So the front side is called, just basically your front side.
Mm.
You have if you're goofy or you're regular, it's
Mm.
basically
Mm.
on the side. Your toes
Mm.
are pointing, and you
Okay.
have your lead hand on top, yeah, on top, and then on the bottom.
Okay.
So so that is a front side, and
Mm.
then the other one is you switch hands.
Mm.
So
Mm.
you're like this for front side.
Mm.
For the other side, you put your other hand on top, and then
Oh,
you're kind of like cross body, like this, like
okay.
yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah, so you have it on the other side, and that obviously when you're so tired and things like that, that really helps with your using a different muscle group.
Cool, cool. Thank you, thank you. I
Yeah.
I happen to learn that now. Actually, I wouldn't know. I'm a goofy, and I used to do it only on the lead side, as you said. So
Yeah, the front side.
thank you, thank you. So
Yeah.
what is allowed in SSUPS? And like, I can pump, I can paddle, and I can push. No.
Well, for Ultraskate, they have a category that's the push and paddle.
Yeah.
But if you're doing strictly paddle, then you could pump
Uh,
and you could paddle, and that's it.
That's how my question came up. Actually, I saw your name and the team, and it was on push paddle sort, so that's why I came up with that question. Thanks. And by the way, congratulations on your 312.4 miles on Ultraskate 2023. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I appreciate that. That was a great accomplishment
uh,
for our
mm,
team relay. Andy Andrus, Jacob Puharik, and Josh.
oh,
Um, yeah, it was a great experience for me to be a part of that team, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm hyped.
Cool, cool. So, who else in your family are SSUP riders other than your brother and you and your half brother?
um, I mean, when we started doing SSUP, back then, we were always just trying to get everybody to try it.
Okay.
We believed it was like the new hot thing, and it's it was really fun, and yeah, so we just try to get everyone to do it. So everyone does it. Like all my friends know how to do it. My
Oh,
wife, she knows how to. Yeah, she knows how to ride.
cool.
But to actually do it for a long distance,
Mm,
there's not many. The scene is small per se.
okay.
Um, I just have a handful of friends. Like at an event, I saw our buddy Marco,
Mm,
Daniel Canbe,
mm,
uh, and then I saw another person, Ray,
mm,
on Facebook, Instagram,
mm, mm,
on our Facebook group.
mm, mm.
Yeah, so that those are like close people I know, but as far as family members, none really doing like a lot of distance. But for
Okay.
fun, all my family members.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Actually, all your family members are, capable of doing longboarding. That's itself a good thing because, like, uh, I can't say the same here. Actually, uh, they don't even do bicycling these days. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that we liked how transportable, or
mm, mm,
yeah, how easy it is to bring the skateboards around
mm,
versus bikes.
mm,
Bikes, you need a rack, you need this and that.
mm,
Skateboards, you kind of just throw it in your trunk. You could
mm,
put 7 skateboards
mm, mm.
and load it up, and everyone can ride. So
Cool.
yeah, it yeah.
So, tell us about your setup on your Schwinn baby trailer and your board. Which you took for Chickvia or Chicklavia.
Oh yeah, yeah. For Ciclavia,
Mm,
I love that event because it's an open street. You can test out
mm,
new
mm,
new gadgets and
mm,
stuff like that. And
mm,
and as skateboarders, we're always like tinkering. We're always trying to find the best setup. So
mm,
my setup for since I have a baby now,
mm,
I wanted to set up a trailer to a skateboard.
mm,
So I have a Subskate Sport Endurance
mm,
60-inch board,
mm,
and it helps because it's taller off the ground,
mm,
and that makes it kind of level for the trailer.
mm,
And then the trailer
mm.
is actually it's a bike trailer. So I just
Yeah.
modified it. I made the hole a little bit bigger so it could fit a kingpin.
Mm,
So what I did was, I have a old skateboard truck with I took out the bushings and I just left the kingpin
oh,
protruding. Yeah, and then I use that as the kind of the base, the connection point for
okay.
the bike trailer. Yeah, and it works out pretty good, honestly. I wish, I
That's
had
brilliant, actually.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's perfect. I have no complaints.
Yeah, I never
You know,
thought out like
It-
a base plate could be a hook kind of thing for your Schwinn trailer. That's a brilliant thought. Nice, nice. Awesome. So,
well,
yeah.
yeah, like yeah, people have like tried other, things, and they machine specific pieces.
Mm,
But I was just looking at the base plate. I was like, man, this would really work. This would work. And luckily I tried it and it worked. So yeah,
cool, cool.
I like it.
Awesome. Probably it will help for people who are actually doing some adventures, doing long distance, really long distance with a trailer, in the back. Uh, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Uh, sure. I have a fantasy question. Do you think people could try SSUP or the paddling and a short board inside a park style skate park bowl?
Yeah, I mean, you could,
Mm.
but you wouldn't have to. I mean, you don't really need it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you could do it, and there are people who have done it, and I've tried it,
Mm-hmm.
and you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. It's
Oh,
okay. It's
cool.
kind of it's inconvenient, but
Yeah.
it's possible.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Another extension of the same question. It's coming from the amateur point of view, as in, like, is it possible to do, paddling with that paddling stick on a ice skating, ski board?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Snowboarding,
Mm-hmm.
ice skating.
Mm-hmm.
I think I mentioned earlier. It's kind of like a training wheel,
Mm-hmm.
or it's sometimes like a cane.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tried it snowboarding, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I'll take the lift to the top of the mountain instead of paddling, and then and then I've seen people do it with rollerblading
Yeah.
or roller skating.
Uh-huh.
They have it, and it kind of helps them balance.
Oh.
So yeah, definitely, it's possible for like ice skating, and I think it's actually a really good tool to learn
Oh, cool.
if you're a beginner.
I never saw or heard before, like, people are trying paddling with roller skating. That's new to me, actually. Thanks for sharing that information. Sir, tell us about West SSUP. As in, like, I saw you flexing like the logo, and your hand gesture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. What's up? What's
yeah,
up?
yeah.
Yeah, West Up. Yeah, West SSUP
Oh.
was a company that my half brother founded, and he brought me along to do videos and
Mm-hmm.
kind of like help promote it and
Mm-hmm.
skateboard and
Mm-hmm.
natural. When we started, we were looking for a certain type of paddle,
Mm-hmm.
and we just couldn't find it on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to try and make it, and we were experimenting with different kinds of woods and things like that. And we ultimately landed on a rattan stick.
Mm-hmm.
It had some flex. It
Mm-hmm.
had some flex, and it was still kind of strong. It's very strong for the most part for being natural, and that's kind of what we started. And we called it West Sup,
Okay.
and West Sup. So we're on the West Coast
Oh, yeah.
and
I get you.
of
Yeah.
the United States, and we do stand up paddle.
Cool, cool. I get the
And back
connection.
then
Yeah.
there was no name, or there's a name, or people don't even know what to call it anymore. It's like land paddle,
Ah.
stand up paddle,
Mm-hmm.
skateboard stand up paddle, street stand up paddle. Like, what do we even call it?
Mm.
So, that, then it was like land paddle,
Mm.
and it kind of sounds like, well, we're not, we're paddling on the land. You can't paddle everywhere. Well, you can paddle on dirt. You can paddle on the snow.
Mm.
You can paddle, on the land.
Mm.
So it kind of makes sense, but usually you're paddling on the street,
Mm.
or, so that's why we called it street stand up paddle. So yeah, that's a company we did. And, yeah, it started in, I believe, 2012. And,
It's still
yeah,
active?
you know what? You'd have to contact their website and check it out.
Okay.
I'm not with that. I'm not with
Oh,
that company
okay.
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so check them out,
Okay.
and then see if they're still active.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that. Thank you. Sir,
Yeah.
uh, tell us about the Double Trouble Club of Miami Ultra Skate.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
Uh,
The Double Trouble Club is something I really wanted to start
mm-hmm.
when I um, doing ultra. I was doing strictly
Okay.
paddling only,
Okay.
because that's, my brother and I, we were trying to push this forward and like see how far we could go. And So I was focusing on paddle, and I always told myself, and in conversations with my brother, he was just like, "Oh, eventually, are you gonna go and are you gonna try to do it kicking only? Are you, like, what do you think you're gonna do?" And so once I did 200 miles paddling, I felt like, man, the natural thing for me is to just switch categories and just try to get 200 there. And so in 2019, I completed it. I did strictly paddle 200 miles in 2015, and then 2019 I did kick in the Dutch Ultra. I did 200 miles. So essentially, I was kind of like the first person to do that, and I was like, man, like, it's so nice that I'm still able to do the same kind of distance sport, but kind of like use my arms, use my legs, and kind of challenge myself, because I'm always trying to challenge myself. So I was like, how can I encourage people to like even want to try it? Because usually people from our sport, they start with kicking, and if you go from kicking to paddling, it's so slow.
Okay.
It's like a slow, you're slowing down. Whereas for me, I went from paddling to kicking. So I'm speeding up. And for me, it's such a struggle when you're doing paddle only, like, and you want to kick so bad. You want to use your legs. You're so tired. And you just want to kick, but you can't technically if you're doing strictly paddle. So I wanted to kind of incentivize or encourage people to try a new category, which is either stand-up paddle or push paddle. So that's kind of why I started the Double Trouble Club.
Oh.
I talked to Andy about it, and
Cool.
I saw that he was I saw that he was like pushing the envelope on stand-up paddle skating, and so I messaged him. I was like, hey man, like, thinking about starting this club, like, let's think of a name for it. And I really, I knew that he was gonna break 200 paddling, so I was like, okay, hey, finally another member, someone who's gonna do like two categories, or actually, strict paddle and then strict kicking. I think there's a couple other people who've done push paddle 200 and then kicking 200, but I think Andy's the only other person to do strict kicking over 200 and strict paddle over 200. So yeah, I figured he'd be the best person to like talk to about it and make the club with. And he kind of encouraged me like, hey, yeah, just do your thing. So I named it the Double Trouble Club because, obviously two categories. And sometimes we call it the Deuce Club. So it's two categories, 200.
Nice.
So, I try not to like make it too serious. I just, like I said, I'm just trying to make it fun and kind of like build up the community, community over competition. That's kind of how it is in the sport, and you just gotta uplift everybody. And
cool.
So,
That's a noble thought.
That's a club.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Stand-up paddle skateboarding is really hard. So it's you got to make it fun, and that's what
Staying
that's what it's
inclusive
about.
could actually help that.
Yeah.
Cool. How do you find
definitely.
time to do all these things when you're actually traveling a lot?
I just, luckily there's events. So for the events, I like train for the events and I make time. But in the off season, which is like right now, I'm not doing too much distance. I'm doing more like fun. I'm working on my setups. I do like surf skate, just like regular skateboarding, carving, longboard dancing. So, so I kind of like just use the Ultraskate as my anchor,
Hmm.
and as it comes closer,
Okay.
I'll kind of just ramp up the training or ramp up the intensity. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So your breadwinning stuff was like your designing and video making, editing skills.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I do all that, and then I have a photo booth business, a photo and video booth
Okay.
business for parties. Yeah,
Okay.
kind of like party rentals,
Okay.
things like that. I do that. Yeah, I do that on the weekend,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's
Cool.
what I do for a living.
Okay. So, tell us
Yeah.
about the Chick Love Your race or Chick Via race. Oh, not race. I
Okay,
mean, like
so
the event. Exactly.
yeah, it's called a Ciclavia.
Okay.
It's kind of like an organization
Mm-hmm.
that is trying to raise awareness for safer roads for biking, and
Okay.
then like a cleaner environment.
Uh-huh.
Pollution, things like that.
Mm.
So they're really that's their main cause.
Mm.
So having an opportunity to close down the streets
Mm.
for they close down about like a 4 mile section,
Okay.
usually
Okay.
4 to 5 miles,
Mm.
6 miles sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They close down a road that's has some businesses on it, and it connects communities.
Mm.
And so it kind of encourages people to ride bikes or walk
Mm.
or skateboard on the roads that were designed for cars.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fun event. There's thousands of people that come out
Mm.
to them, and it's a really unique way to see the city. Sometimes they do it in Los Angeles,
Mm.
or some people in other cities are doing it. Yeah, it's a fun event. It's a great event for skateboarding.
That's amazing, actually. It's very inclusive as I see the pictures, I could see old couples, I could see kids, your own as well. You could see physically challenged people participating in it. It's very inclusive. That's a great and noble thought, I would say. Someday I would love to participate in Chiclopia sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really nice, honestly, because it connects the communities,
Mm.
and that's kind of what it's about. And then it kind of makes you value your car because
Okay.
you're walking. You don't realize how far things are
Hmm.
because you're always in usually you're always like in your car,
Yeah.
or you know, in California at least you're just driving everywhere.
Nice, nice, nice. So it's totally out of the subject question. Do beaches in California have pavements for physically challenged people to experience the seawater?
I know one beach that it has a kind of like
Okay.
a paved path that takes you close to the water,
Ah,
but it doesn't take you actually to the water. You can see the water.
okay.
But yeah, the sand is pretty soft here in
Ah,
California.
ah,
So,
thanks.
uh, yeah, as I've never thought about it, but I have seen it. So there are ways for people to access the beach.
Cool, cool, awesome. So tell us about the Grand Prix Long Beach racetrack. Your riding experience with that.